In today's Spotlight segment, we will be reviewing Mouseflow. Mouseflow is a Copenhagen-based company which performs advanced web analytics and real-time user studies on websites. They record whole visitor sessions, including mouse movements, clicks, scroll events, and keystrokes. Some of their customers include Pepsi, AT&T, Microsoft, NBC, Samsung, Kobo, and Stanford. And joining us via Skype for a more in-depth review of Mouseflow is Amy Martyn from Falcon Software. Hey, Amy, welcome back.
Hi, Stephen. How are you?
I'm doing great. Having a great show today. How about yourself?
Oh, good. That's good to hear. Yeah, I'm having a great morning.
Yeah, fantastic. You know, it's really interesting talking about customer experience and all the different dynamics related to it, and really trying to measure and understand the customer experience perspective from both the eyes of the customer as well as the eyes of the organization. So it's been a lot of fun, and I'm curious how this really plays into it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so can you tell us a little bit more about the background of the company, when, where, and why they started?
Sure, yeah. So they're a company that's based in Denmark, Copenhagen. They started in 2009. The CEO started the company. His name is Lars Schau, and he really came from a web agency background where he was dealing with a lot of small to medium-sized businesses who really saw a need there for wanting more than traditional analytics. Something where people could see what are they clicking on, where are they spending their time on the websites, and why are they leaving. So he came up with this product of Mouseflow, and really he just started sharing it with some friends and some work colleagues, and then he started sharing it with some of his clients, and it really just started to catch on from there. What happened from there is it really has just grown very organically. They're sitting at about 52,000 customers, or a little bit more. They have about, which is actually impressive because they only have 22 employees overall. Wow. Yeah, with 7 in the U.S. marketplace. So it's amazing that they can manage all that. And they have about 20 integrations. So it does make it a little bit easier when they do have integrations. And some of those being Drupal, Adobe, Joomla,
okay.
HubSpot, and then Shopify and Unbound.
So tell us a little bit more about their features and how companies can utilize those features.
Yeah, so that's a good point. I wanted to kind of point out to our viewers what those features are, but how they can kind of utilize those for their day-to-day life. If people are wanting to start with Mouseflow, they can really take advantage of, number one, the recordings. So Mouseflow offers actual video recordings of what people are doing on their websites and their web pages. So you can actually see, it's really interesting. You can see when someone goes to your website exactly what they're doing with their cursor, where they're spending most of their time, and importantly, why they're leaving, as the goal is to keep people on your site for as long as possible. Next is their many heat maps, and they have 5 in total. The first is their click heat maps. And what that is exactly like it sounds. It shows you where people are clicking on the web pages. So what it looks like is it kind of illuminates color where the links are most popular. So say if on a web page there's 10 links in total, the ones that are popular, say there's 2 that are popular, they'll be illuminated in red, showing a brighter color. And the ones that are not so popular, say the other 8, will show in more of a green or a blue. Looking at their other heat maps, the next would be a movement heat map. And that's very similar to the click heat maps, except it doesn't show the clicks. It shows where people are spending most of their time on a web page. So it's showing you where the cursor is hovering for most of the time. And it's really interesting that there's been several university studies that have shown 70 to 80% of people will actually move their mouse as they were reading a web page or a website or an article. So, and a lot of people are doing this unintentionally. It's just what people are doing now. So people, if they're using the movement heat map, they can see where people are spending their time and then put important content in that space, maybe a form. The next is scroll heat maps. And what that does is it shows you bands of color. So people really don't like to scroll when they get to a web page. But they do, they have to get to the bottom of it. But what people will see most of all is the very top. So you'll see a band of red at the top going into yellow, then maybe near the bottom going into your greens and your blues, which is important because maybe 10 to 12% of people aren't seeing this part on the web page. So you probably don't want to have a form down there or a submit button. So that's, people could really take advantage of that heat map as well. And then the other two. So there's attention heat map, which shows you where people are spending a lot of time on, say, an article that has a lot of paragraphs. And you want to know what is most important out of that whole article. So maybe they're spending it on the third paragraph, and that part will be highlighted in red. And then the last is the geo heat maps. And what that is a geographical world map, and it shows you where you're getting your most traffic. So this is great if you're doing an ad campaign and you want to know, well, what are the top cities or states where we're getting the most traffic? Let's utilize our budget and put it all into our ad campaign, focused on a message to that target audience. And then the other features that they offer are funnels and form analysis, which really gives you a percentage of what visitors are doing to help test conversions.
Interesting, fascinating. So there's a really lot to it. But you also talked about the integration, and you talked about how they integrate with partners and how that really affects their software. Tell us how that might sort of help to make the lives of the customer easier, maybe makes it more functional for them and usable.
Yeah, so the ones that kind of stood out to me, they have about 20 integrations, but the ones that kind of stood out was number one, Shopify. So they deal with a lot of small to medium-sized businesses. And a lot of those are e-commerce companies that are selling things, trying to track conversions. So it really fits nicely into with Mouseflow. What people can do is install it very easily. And if they have built their web store on the Shopify platform, they really can start seeing what people are looking at. Are they clicking on their products? Are they adding them to their cart? And why are they abandoning their cart or the checkout process, which is interesting. The other one that kind of came to mind was the Unbounce integration. And again, this is for people that have ad-focused landing pages. So maybe they want to test buttons, or they want to test different layouts or different forms. They can install the Mouseflow platform very easily and start utilizing the different heat maps, recording, see where people are going, which is interesting, and I think very beneficial to them if they're going to use the Mouseflow platform. And the other one, which is very popular, is WordPress, which is just started a plugin. So people that are on the WordPress platform, which is a lot of Mouseflow's clients, as well as Mouseflow is on the WordPress platform, easily install the plugin, and then you get everything that Mouseflow offers in the WordPress dashboard.
So interesting. So let's talk pricing. I mean, what type of pricing? What's their pricing model? How does that work?
Yeah, so I know I keep talking that they are really focused on the small to medium-sized businesses, but they offer a free account. So for those that are just starting, they have a small clientele, they really don't have to track a lot of visitors coming to their site, they offer a free account, and then it goes up from there with very reasonable pricing. They just started a new website a couple of weeks ago. So from their pricing on their last website to their new website, it has changed slightly, but it's still very, very close. Prices range from $25 per month, which will give you 2,500 recordings, to $80, which will give you 10,000 recordings, up to about $299 a month, which will give you about 100,000 recordings. And they also do a lot of work with agencies, and agencies work with a ton of clients, therefore a ton of websites. So they're very flexible. They'll give you a custom package if you need it. And they'll also offer sub-user login. So for those clients, if they want to log in and see their Mouseflow platform and all their analytics.
Got it. And how about their competitors? Who is it? Who else is doing what they do? Are there people doing what they do?
Yeah. There's two competitors. One being kind of their biggest overall competitor, which is ClickTail.
Okay.
They're a company that's based out of Israel, and they. Their kind of entire business strategy is focused on the huge, big, large enterprises. So kind of a total different strategy than what Mouseflow does. And it's funny that Mouseflow actually takes advantage of this and uses ClickTail as a great source of leads for them. I was speaking directly with the business development leader. His name's Trent Scott, who was there right from the beginning when Mouseflow started. And he was saying that they get calls every single day from ClickTail of people getting these ginormous budgets that they just can't afford. So they actually use that to their advantage and get a lot of leads from ClickTail, which I'm not sure they're aware of. But if you're looking at the features, they do offer very similar features. And again, I kind of went incognito and spoke to some of the customers that are using both products. And some said they like Mouseflow better because it offers A/B testing. And some said they like ClickTail better because it offers kind of a clearer picture of the heat maps and kind of takes out some of the guesswork. But overall, the biggest difference would be price. ClickTail is obviously quite a bit more. And then their other competitor would be Hotjar, but to a lesser extent. They offer the same kind of features, the recording, heat maps, form analysis. But they just started about a year ago, and they had kind of a rough go when they started. They kind of dealt with a few bugs. But the biggest difference between them, Mouseflow and Hotjar, is that Hotjar offers sampling. So if you really wanted to see every single person that's coming to your website, you really wouldn't be able to with Hotjar. They do a sampling. So you'd be able to see 1 out of 5, 1 out of 10, 1 out of 20. So if you were really wanting that, that's just not offered with Hotjar, but maybe people just need a sample. So
right.
Yeah.
Interesting. So tell us, what are people saying about them? Do you have, when you started talking to customers, you get any insight from them?
Yeah, well, I went socially, went on Twitter, and I was seeing kind of what people were saying in that space. So I thought I would share a couple tweets from people. So this came from Rodixo at Rodixig, and she says, "Do you understand your visitors? Mouseflow lets you record website visitors and see website heat maps showing where they click, scroll, and even pay attention." John Miller at JGMiller31 says, "Really getting into Mouseflow to understand mobile checkout flows," which is interesting. Adam Reimer was saying, "Love both your tools and use them both in my work. Thank you for being awesome."
Nice.
Yeah, and then they did get a bit of feedback. Obviously, you can't please every single person that you're doing business with about their customer service. But I found that surprising because Mouseflow offers 24/7 customer service. So even on Christmas, if you have a question about a form that you're trying to implement, there will be someone there that you can either live chat or talk to right away to get your answers solved.
Interesting. So real quick, tell us, where do you see them going in the next 3 to 5 years?
Yeah, so that's a great question. Again, after I was talking to Trent Scott, he gave me some great feedback of the direction they're going. They are a company that's really totally bootstrapped. They have no external funding. So they're really on a great path for growing organically. And they're in the last few years, actually year after year, they've been growing. Their client base has been growing exponentially. And they're sitting at about 70% overall from when they first started. And then last September, they came out with a new user interface, which was a total rewrite, total ground-up rewrite, which is bringing in some more clientele for them, which is helping their accelerating growth of where they want to be going. And they have so many things in the pipeline. They have about 900 items on their task list of ideas that they want to implement and where they want to go. But their biggest true thing that they want to stay with and going in the right direction is staying true and friendly to the small and medium-sized businesses with their pricing and really just to totally optimize the heck out of their website.
Interesting. Well, look, she's Amy. I'm Steven. This is your Insider segment. Amy, thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. This is fascinating. I'm curious to see where they do end up.
Yeah, me too. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks for being on. We'll see you next time.
Your job is to cut through the noise. To succeed, you need to reach out to your target audiences in real time with messages that speak to them. You can't let technology get in the way of your brand. That's the spirit. First Spirit is a powerful solution that helps you effectively communicate and engage with your target audience. Get an awesome ROI. Success in the market means your message got through to the right people at the right time in the right way. And that's why you need First Spirit. Get started with digital marketing. Visit www.espirit.com now.